The dam that could change Africa forever. In the highlands of Ethiopia, where ancient civilizations once carved history into stone, a new kind of monument is rising. Not a palace, not a temple, but a dam so massive it can be seen from space. This is the story of ambition, of risk, and of a nation betting everything on power. Chapter 1. A country that refused to stay poor. For decades, Ethiopia was known for struggle. Images of drought, famine, and instability shaped how the world saw it. But beneath that narrative, something else was growing. A quiet determination. Because Ethiopia wasn't just surviving, it was planning. With over 120 million people, one of the largest populations in Africa, the question was simple: how do you lift millions out of poverty fast? The answer Ethiopia chose was bold. Not small reforms, not slow change, but massive transformation. Chapter 2. The $5 billion gamble. At the heart of this transformation lies one project, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, a structure so ambitious it has sparked both hope and tension across an entire region. Built on the Blue Nile River, this dam isn't just about water, it's about power. Literally, when fully operational, it will generate over 6,000 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power not just Ethiopia, but multiple neighboring countries. Think about that for a second. A country once struggling with energy shortages, now aiming to become a regional energy exporter. But here's where it gets intense, because not everyone is celebrating. Countries downstream, especially Egypt, fear the dam could reduce their water supply. This isn't just an engineering project anymore. It's geopolitics, it's diplomacy, it's tension, flowing through a river. Chapter 3. Power equals progress. Why is electricity so important? Because without it, modern economies don't exist. No factories, no industries, no large-scale growth. Ethiopia understood something critical. Energy is the foundation of development. So instead of waiting decades, they decided to leap ahead. Hydropower became their weapon, clean, renewable, scalable. But electricity alone isn't enough. You need systems, connections, movement. And that's where the next phase begins. Chapter 4. Building the arteries of an economy. Imagine a country with energy, but no way to move goods, no roads, no railways, no logistics. Growth would stall instantly. So Ethiopia started building something massive: economic arteries. One of the most important is the rail line connecting Addis Ababa to Djibouti City. Why does this matter? Because Ethiopia is landlocked, no direct access to the sea, and global trade runs on ports. So this railway became a lifeline. Goods manufactured in Ethiopia can now move faster to international markets. What used to take days now takes hours. That's not just infrastructure, that's economic acceleration. Chapter 5. Industrial dreams. But Ethiopia didn't stop there. They asked a bigger question. What if we don't just export raw materials, but finished products? And just like that, industrial parks began to rise. Massive zones dedicated to manufacturing, textiles, garments, electronics. Companies from around the world started paying attention. Why? Because Ethiopia offered something powerful: cheap electricity, low labor costs, government-backed infrastructure. It was a calculated move, a strategy to become Africa's manufacturing hub, almost like what China did decades ago. Chapter 6. The high-stakes strategy. But let's be real, this isn't a guaranteed success story. It's a gamble, a massive one, because building infrastructure at this scale costs billions, loans, debt, pressure. If growth doesn't keep up, the entire system could strain. And then there are internal challenges, political tensions, economic fluctuations, global competition. Countries like Vietnam and Bangladesh are already strong in manufacturing. Ethiopia isn't entering an empty race, it's entering a battlefield. Chapter 7. A region. Watching closely. What Ethiopia is attempting goes beyond its borders. If successful, it could reshape the entire Horn of Africa. Energy exports to neighbors like Sudan and Kenya could create a new regional power dynamic. Imagine a future where Ethiopian electricity powers East Africa, Ethiopian factories supply global markets, Ethiopian railways move goods across borders. That's not just development, that's dominant. Chapter 8. The risk of going too fast. But here's the flip side. Rapid growth can be dangerous. If infrastructure expands faster than the economy can support, you get imbalance. Unused railways, underperforming factories, rising debt. It's like building a giant machine before you know if it will run smoothly. And yet, Ethiopia keeps pushing forward. Chapter 9. The psychology of ambition. What makes this story powerful isn't just the projects, it's the mindset. Ethiopia didn't choose the safe path, it chose the aggressive one. Instead of slow growth over decades, it's trying to compress transformation into years. That requires something rare: vision, risk tolerance, national commitment. Because projects like the Grand Renaissance Dam don't just need money, they need belief. Chapter 10. The future is unwritten. So what happens next? Will Ethiopia become Africa's industrial giant, or will the weight of its ambition slow it down? No one knows yet, but one thing is certain. This is one of the boldest economic experiments of our time. A nation, once defined by struggle, now trying to redefine itself through power, steel, and strategy. Final cinematic ending, voiceover style. In a world where nations rise and fall, Ethiopia has chosen to rise faster than ever before, through rivers turned into power and land turned into industry. It is rewriting its future. But ambition comes with a cost, and only time will decide if this gamble becomes a revolution.